All right, guys. If you're following us on social media, you would have known that about a month ago, Ben and I got our hands on a new little project from PSE, and well, today is the day. It's officially announced. Welcome the new PSE OMEN, a new bow for 2022 that's a speed bow, and it is awesome. We shot it a little bit, as you can tell in some of the B-roll clips of this video. Thanks to Brandon for hooking us up. He got us a D-loop tied in, we got a peep sight tied in. We have the all-new dual track sight from Black Gold, as well as the 8-inch Mountain Series stab from AAE. And then lastly, to tie things off, we got the brand new Hamskea Epsilon. Today we're gonna kind of run it through its paces a little bit. We're gonna shoot at 20, kind of give you our feel on what it feels like, how it draws. This particular bow is a 29-inch draw. We have it actually down to 28.5 for my draw length. It's 70 pounds with a 90% let off. So we're gonna shoot it through the chrono, get some speeds for you, weigh my arrows, get you guys a good idea of how fast this thing actually is. And I think you might be surprised. This is gonna be a great bow. And from shooting it earlier, I can already tell that it's definitely gonna be a good one for this year. So with all that said, we'll kind of run down some of the new features this year and what makes the OMEN different than the previous version that they had many years ago. So to start things off, we have the E2 and the S2 cam, which are offered in a high let off as well as a low let off. Like I mentioned, this one that we have here is the high at a 90%. That can be adjusted down to 80, and the low let off is anywhere from 75% down to 65. So depending on how you want that to be configured, they got you taken care of right there. So moving on down the riser, it's a new OMEN design, which includes 2 burger holes, which is awesome. So if you want to put different types of rests on there or quivers, you got that set up for you. As well as something that Ben and I thought was really cool, a brand new quick disconnect sling system. So let's say you're going to hunt and you're using a disconnect for your AR or whatever have you. Well, in theory, you could go ahead and run it right here on your bow as well. And then like I mentioned earlier, we have the Hamskea Epsilon and QAD integrated rest mount. Both have the dovetail for your QAD as well as your mounting holes for your Epsilon if you choose to use one of those. The bow is offered in 8 different colors. The one that we have here today is the tan color, but it's also offered in black, charcoal, First Light Fusion, which is new for this year, QU Verde, Mossy Oak Country, Optifade Elevated 2, and then Optivated Subalpine. Going down to the specs, with the E2 cam, this bow is advertised at 356 feet per second. It's got a brace height of 5.5 inches, with the axle being 33 inches. Like I mentioned, the let off is adjustable anywhere from that 80 to 90% or 65 to 75%. Draw length ranges are adjustable from 27 to 31 inches with the E2 cam. The peak draw weight is 60, 70 and 80 pound options. We have the 70 pound here today, weighing in at 4.5 pounds. So moving on to the S2 cam, it's advertised at 345 feet per second, and that's at a 28.5 inch draw. The brace height on the S2 is 5.25 inches, so it's a little bit less. Axle is still 33 inches. The let off on the S2 cam is again 80 to 90% or 65 to 75%. The draw length ranges for the S2 cam are 24.5 to 28.5, so it gets that lower end. The peak draw weight again is 60, 70, and 80 pounds. And like the other E2 cam, it's also weighing at 4.5 pounds, so no change there. All right, cool, so that's it for the specs. Now it's our favorite part. We're gonna go ahead and weigh the arrows that I brought with me today. They're my personal arrows. They're Easton 5mm Access arrows. And we're gonna shoot it through the chrono and get you guys a feel for what speeds we're getting out of this thing. Again, this is gonna be at 28.5 inch draw with a 90% let off. So the speeds may vary from the advertised, but I still think it's gonna be plenty fast. All right guys, so we have our last chance archery scale here. The wind's kind of blowing it around a little bit. All right, with a 3D printed arrow rest, let's get this balanced out. And just kind of what I thought about the wind's blowing it around, but it's right around 460, 459. Yeah, look at the wind blowing it around. All right, let's try another one here. Get the fetchings this way, let's see what we got. Let's balance it out, it's a little heavier on the front. 460.5, 460.8. All right, so let's try the second arrow here. 460 and some change, 0.8, 460.8. So a little bit difference there. Let's go to the third arrow here. 460 on the money. Cool. All right, guys, so 460 grains is roughly what each of these arrows weighs, give or take a couple points there. We're gonna shoot it through our Caldwell chrono and see what kind of speeds we're getting. I'm gonna guesstimate probably around 300. What do you think, man? Yeah, I'm thinking with 70-pound draw weight and my axle, my draw length is just a touch short than what they tested at 28.5. I think we're gonna be right around 300, but we'll see what happens. We'll shoot all 3 arrows from it and just kind of get an average and see where we get. So go ahead and get this thing turned on. Set this guy down. All right, cool. Arrow number 1. Let's see what we got. Probably should have marked these so we knew which ones were different, but they were all right around 460, so it's not going to be too far off. All right. So we have our first one here. Nice draw cycle. It's a little stiff in the beginning. This is a brand new bow, but we'll see what we get here. 301. I don't know if you can see that. Ben's got it on the other camera. So 301. Right around where I should have played Price is Right, man. We would have been good. Bob would have called me up on the stage. All right, let's see what we get here. Let's try not to hit my other arrow. That one was 297, so that's probably one of the little bit heavier ones. 301, 297. Again, this is a 460 grain arrow. It has 28.5-inch draw, so it's a little bit shorter than what they tested, and a lot lighter, a lot heavier arrow. 295. So a little bit slower than what I thought, but still not bad. I mean, that's a smoking fast arrow. And I don't know if you could tell, I don't know if the cameras picked that up, but this thing is dead quiet. So they got this like rubber grip. It's pinched. I would almost compare it similar to like the Hoyt, that Vital grip. It's like narrow at the top and wider at the bottom. Super comfortable grip. We ran the Mountain Series stabilizer. As you can tell, we have it lower mount, similar, again, kind of similar to the Hoyts where you can mount that lower. I feel like that definitely helped us stabilize the bow a little bit more, but it also has the option to mount it right here where you normally would. Great bow. Definitely like that dual track sight. It's a sweet sight, dovetail. But let's shoot a couple more here and we'll get a good idea of where we are. But 295, 301, and 297, is that about right? So high 200, almost 300 for each of those. So let's go pull those arrows and we'll shoot just a few more and then shoot it down range and see what we can do at a little bit of a distance. So you're shooting at 300 feet per second at 5 yards. Targets at OD&R are no joke. Ready for this one, Ben?
Ready.
See what she does at 20. I should note, our friends at Morel sent us over some targets to use. So big shout out to Tanner and the guys over there at Morel Targets for hooking us up. Today we are shooting the Super Duper, I believe it's the YJ400, if I'm not mistaken. But they also sent us over the Transformer Buck as well as the React target. Is it the React target?
Kinetic?
Yes, the Kinetic target, which is their new no limit FPS. It's great for crossbows. Ben and I are gonna do a torture chest video on that. So stay tuned for that one. But thanks for sending us over this YJ. We're gonna go ahead and shoot it and see. We kind of did a rough sight-in while we were at the store. So this is the first time really shooting it at distance. And we'll kind of see what we get. This is where I earn my money and don't miss, right? All right, guys, let's see what we got here. Woo. That arrow is moving, man. First impressions, I kind of mentioned it a little bit. It does draw hard. It's very similar to the rest of the PSE bows. You know, we shoot so many bows that we get a good feel for everything. And that first part of the draw cycle is pretty rough, but once you get through it and that 90% let off, I mean, you could hold that thing for all day, really. So we'll do a few more here and see what we feel. Again, this thing is really dead in the hand. I mean, it is extremely dead in the hand for being as fast as it is. There we go. Not too bad, Ben. A little high, but that's not horrible. Last one here. Nice firm wall. I'm really up against the wall right now. It's nice and tight. You can't beat it. 3 arrows within 3 inches of each other. We're a little bit high and to the left, but again, for just barely being sighted, barely being sighted in, it's not doing too bad, really. Super fast. What do you think? Is it quiet? Pick it up on the camera?
Quiet.
Real quiet on camera. All right, so people may ask, like, what's so great about Morel targets? This is a super high speed bow, right? 2 fingers. Oh, I'm gonna tip it over. All right, I lied. 1 hand. There you go. Super easy to pull out. Definitely better than these targets from our friends over here at ODNR. So let's go ahead and we'll send some more down, and then we'll get some sick B-roll footage. So. All right, guys, that wraps us up for today. This boat is phenomenal. It's a shooter, it's super fast, super dead in the hand. If you're in the market for a speed bow, definitely check out the PSE OMEN. I think you're really gonna like it, especially with all those different color options that they have. Again, we wanna thank our partners over at Morel for sending us the targets to use today. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to continue to put them to the test. As always, we appreciate you watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, give this video a like, share it with a friend, all that good stuff, as well as all of our social media. We're putting out all sorts of content all the time. Check us out, Vance Outdoors Inc. on most of those platforms. That's all we have for you today. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.